Today is paper bag day, so this is my paper bag, and I'm going to put the light on it so that I can have a much brighter, but you'll lose the bag a lot once I do that. Okay, here's my paper. You can do it, you can actually use the paper landscape or portrait up and down. I have having trouble trying to videotape that way, and I did one and I can't get it rotated, so I may have to redo it. So all mine are going to probably end up being landscape, but you can use it portrait at any time that it works compositionally for you. Alright, so let's start. We're just going to make a really big bag today. That way we have, and I want the assignment is how dramatic can you get your shading. And this is a step into fabrics, because fabric ends up being quite important when you become a drawer, because it's in most of the still lives, because it's a backdrop. So I really want you to get to be good at it, and I think that might be too big. I want to see. So we're gonna try to get this bag. I think that's better. We're going to try to get this bag to work well and be very dramatic. And I think I have it so big it's going to go off, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Alright, compositionally I'm just trying to find my space. I want it large. I don't want it too small. So I'm going to come in just quickly, and then I'm going to go back again as I usually do and fix the lines, fix the whole drawing. Actually, I like that. And this is really the cast shadow anyway. Here, there's a beautiful dark cast shadow there, and it comes off here. And then there's some shading stuff going on here, and really low, so here. Okay? So, let's, that's pretty much the fast composition, or the gesture drawing. Now let's go in and really clean this drawing up and get the details in. Okay? I'm going to take it right off the paper. I'm going to take it right down here. A nice edge. A nice edge. I've got some bumpy things happening right about here. It's the fold of the bag. Up here, there's a little bumpy thing, kind of goes like that. And that's where the bag kind of folded in half, right there. And then it comes down again. And this is a little higher, so I'm going to play with that and kind of get this to go up just a little. I think that's good. And then I'm going to take this bag, come down here like that. It's actually very tightly closed here. Very tightly closed here. And then remember, the bag folds in, so it has a fold like this, the bag does. So this fold with gravity has come down like this, and it kind of bows out here a little bit, and it comes around, and you have that kind of interesting, I'm not sure why paper bags have these half circle cuts, but they have these half circle cuts in them. And then it comes down. It is very similar here. I have this wrong, so let's erase it. This is just like that, very tight. A lot of weight on this front of my bag. And then it comes to going to this is more open. And this is the angle where this is that back of the bag. So front of the bag, back of the bag, crease of the bag. Then let's go up here, down here, and make sure my bag is good. There's that little bump again, because that's the fold. Then we have just a nice, sharp interlock. This is the bottom of the bag, and this is the squaring of it, and it's nice and sharp there. Let's check it. Okay, good. Now what we have to bring in is there's some elements of the fold again. We got to come in here, kind of squint at it, See where it goes. It's not this far. This one is definitely here, so bring that in. This one, they almost create a triangle. Again, find the closest shape that relates. This is very bright. This is kind of dark here. There's another almost triangular shape there of lights and darks. Another one there. This is lighter. This is darker. This is darker when we start shading. There is a line where the bag is actually glued together, so there's an actual seam. It's about center, so I gotta find it. So I would say if it's about center, I think it's about there. I'm a little high here, so let's kill that. Let's go back in, and we're just gonna go for it. That's my seam. And again, it's not so perfectly straight as I drew it originally, now that I'm back in my spot that I'm looking from, because this is that spot where the bag actually folds, makes an interesting bump. So the line kind of follows an interesting bump, like almost like that. Okay? It's not perfectly straight.
Nobody liked that.
Nobody liked that squeal. I have a room full of pets watching me, 2 dogs and a cat, and nobody liked the squeal of the charcoal. Alright, so now this is a good line. It's just a nice, it's a little toothy, it's that little toothy element. Later, if you can actually get it in, great. If not, we could try making a frazzled edge if we need to. This needs to be erased out, because that's definitely cracked. There is a plain line, because I went back to just white paper, and the plain line literally comes through here, but I'm not sure I like that. So let's see, does that work, or does that create too much weird tension? I don't care for it there, so I'm going to make an artistic decision and say my plain line is right here. And that's my choice. It's my plain line. And it needs to be above this shadow. So I'm going to call it right here. Plain line. The plain line can be angled. That's fine. The plain line could be a half circle. It's what's going on in your drawing, but you can modify if it makes the drawing look better and behave better. There's an actual break in my plain line, and this is the dark of the space behind, and I kind of like that right there. It kind of needs something to activate the space. So I'm going to definitely put that in, because there's a bright, bright hub of light right there with a little bit of a cast shadow behind the object right there. There's a little bit of shading on the plain line. Then there's going to be a pretty dark cast shadow there. A beautiful kind of interesting, almost hub of the blackest black here. This is a very black cast shadow that goes thin, thin, thin under this bag. Then this was there's a subtle cast shadow. It actually comes right off the bottom now that I'm looking at it. And when you're actually looking at your still life, remember where you're standing. If you're standing here and looking at it's going to be a little bit different than here. So you just kind of try to keep your head and your person looking at it from the same angle, because the moment you move either way, that thing changes very drastically, very quickly. Okay, this is all in shadow. This is a nice dark shadow, and it jumps this way. There's a nice kind of layering of shades right across here. It's quite beautiful. And then it jumps into quite a dark shadow all the way off the paper from there, where the bulk or the heaviness of that bag is there. Now, in here I said that this was light, dark, light, dark. Inside this bag, it's quite dark because it's the inside, so this is another good project like the box to get the inside outside and start to really get a good feel for that. There's some nice darks that go down in here. There's a nice bright light that comes off right here where this this little fold, this little paper fold, actually creates a fold. Dark on that side, dark around here, but very light right there. You'll also find that in here, this has to actually come in just a little bit. I have it a little too fat. My vine is breaking apart. This is very dark in here, and when you get that nice and dark and crisp, it's gonna slice into space, and that's what you want. There's a light spot right there, and then it goes dark again. Same as up here. This is the actual slice into space, nice and dark there and crisp. And then it's a little bit lighter up here. And then this spot back, and this is why this is close. This is getting you ready for the fabric study, which is next. Because there's a nice quality to this paper bag where there's wrinkles and it kind of lifts up and pushes down. And if you can get that in a paper bag, you won't have too much trouble getting it in the fabric as well when you have folds. So we have all of this kind of formed, very light, subtle shading. So I'm going to just shade with my vine to give you a sense of it. And then we're going to, this is light, where I said there's that bump. And it is actually quite light. And then you come down, and this whole thing has a nice tone. Darker here, and lost it. Darker here, very much darker here, a little bit darker here, very much lighter here. Again, another bend in the paper, which gives you that nice dark. Then over here, there's this interesting, almost triangular bit of light right here happening. We want to try to catch that. There's also some nice, again, slight bends. This comes absolutely black and stops dead, like the cubes did. So there's connections to everything. It's like, it's going to be like fabric, but this bottom is going to be like the cubes. And it's creating an absolutely perfect, sharp cutoff that's going to help you create this bag. And then here is a little bit more shading, and here's that light that comes down for that fold. And here is another part of that light that comes down. I may have to take that line out and make it a light line because it may read as dark when I actually want it to read as light. Okay? Let's see, let's step back. And we did it fast this time. So remember, these are dark. This is dark. This is kind of dark. And this is dark when it gets definitely to here. Alright? There we go. It is a contour study of a paper bag. Just make that thing big so you only have to deal with one of them. And I will be back with how to shade this.